Did you know that in the world today, more people have access to a mobile phone than a toilet? Did you know in the next decade, you're going to be able to travel from New York to Los Angeles in less than 45 minutes inside of a tube? In your lifetime, you're going to be able to avoid disease by replacing your defective genes with new ones. You're going to pay for things with your face instead of a credit card. And you'll be able to operate your computer with your mind instead of a keyboard. So this is not science fiction. This is real technology. And each and every one of you in this room will be part of its creation. So Malala Yousafzai, the youngest recipient of the Nobel Prize, said, "Let us make our future today. Let us make our dreams tomorrow's reality." You know, the technology industry has big dreams of the future. But with big dreams come big challenges. And today, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest challenges facing our industry, and that is the labor shortage and skills gap. Because, see, without people, you have no progress, right? And without people, the dreams of the future cannot be realized. So in the US, right now, the unemployment rate is 3.9%. In the technology industry, it's lower at 1.9%. That's the lowest it's been in decades. It's predicted that by the year 2030, there's supposed to be a global talent shortage. It's going to reach 85 million people by 2030. That's going to cost companies trillions in lost economic benefits. By 2020, in the technology, media, and telecom sector, we are going to be short 1.1 million workers. By 2030, that number jumps to 4.2 million. So what is causing this massive talent shortage? Well, global growth and immigration is getting tighter, underskilled workforce for sure, and retiring baby boomers. Did you know that over the next 19 years, 10,000 baby boomers are going to reach retirement age every day? So what's strange is that there's a puzzle here in this dilemma. Why is it that this is happening when over 7 million Americans are unemployed right now? And over 1 million are working part-time because they can't find full-time work? Because there's no shortage of people. It's skills that are missing. You know, a girl called me last month, and she was interested in a new opportunity. She wanted to look around, see what was out there. She had 15 years in telecom, highly experienced business development executive, literally hundreds of industry relationships, if not thousands. And within 3 weeks, she had 4 offers. All of them were at the same pay or higher. And one company offered her without even interviewing her. Just called her up, gave her an offer. There was another candidate who accepted a position as an OSP engineer, and he had a start date of Monday. He called us and said, "Hey, I'd like to move the start date to Tuesday. I had a family emergency." Well, you know, there's no family emergency, right? He was interviewing with another company. He went ahead and started his job on Tuesday as planned, and then 2 weeks later, he quit and accepted the other offer from the other company for higher money. So, you know, it's something else that just blew my mind when I read this. There's an actual new term that's been created called job ghosting, and that's where candidates are disappearing in the interview process. They're canceling interviews, they're accepting offers and backing out. We used to see this with low-paying jobs, but now we're seeing it with white-collar workers as well. So, like it or not, the skilled candidate is in the driver's seat, and they have options like never before. So, with this new talent landscape, how do we find the people that we need to staff our projects, grow our companies, and be competitive in the marketplace? Well, traditionally, hiring managers would get a resume, and they're going to look at certifications, college degree, skills, experience, all of that. And then they make a decision. Do I want to interview this person or not? And if not, they decline the candidate. But this worked in the past when skilled workers were plentiful. But now, these skilled workers are working. Most of them have jobs, and believe me, they're very, very expensive to lure away right now. And in the case of, let's say cybersecurity, let's take that. They don't exist. These people just don't exist. There is a 0% unemployment rate in cybersecurity right now. We're actually getting new jobs, and I mean jobs that never existed before, around 5G. And we get literally one per month. So the strategy, there's a strategy here that I want to share with you today, and please keep an open mind, because it's going to be different than anything you've heard before. But it is on the cutting edge of the future when hiring. The strategy I want to share with you is one of the top hiring trends for the next decade. Companies like Google, Southwest Airlines, Ritz-Carlton, Zappos, they're all using this strategy right now with success. This strategy is going to move you from a red ocean of sharks fighting over a few fish to a blue ocean filled with all the fish you can catch. The strategy I want to share with you is hire grit, train skill. So what is grit? And why do you want to look for employees that have this trait? Well, grit is an exciting new frontier in personality research that can actually predict future performance. Grit is passion and purpose. It's having an unstoppable work ethic. Someone who can persevere for long-term goals, strength of character and tenacity. Gritty people have overcome their share of obstacles. They're optimistic, and they bounce back easily from setbacks. Google, this is very interesting, Google listed grit recently as a leading characteristic over grades and IQ when hiring. Richard Branson also subscribes to this method. He hires attitude and determination over skill. In fact, a funny story is when he would interview candidates that were flying in, he would dress up like a driver and pick them up from the airport, and just to get their real personality. Sometimes you want to do that, right? You want to really get, who is this person that I'm hiring? MailChimp is a technology company, but they don't hire based on technical skills. They hire people who get things done and get along with others. Numerous studies show a correlation between success and personal hardships. I'd like to show you a quick video now that can really help you get the essence of grit.
Get promoted. Good. More time to get better. Didn't get funded. Good. We own more of the company. Didn't get the job you wanted. Good. You can get more experience and build a better resume. Got beat? Good. You learned. Get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
You know people, you've seen people that you can predict early on. That person is going to be a diamond. You know it. How they carry themselves, how they take care of business, how they follow through, how they keep their commitments to their commitment, how they work the system, their energy level, their passion. You know it, the mark is on them. You know it. That one's going to make it. And people must see that in you.
So that's grit. Many of you can relate to that, right? So there was a study done with 5,200 hiring managers. It was done by Leadership IQ. There were 312 companies. And over that time period, the study involved 20,000 employees. Well, what did they find? They found that technical skills are not the primary reason why new hires fail. Well, why do they fail? Well, 26% fail because of coachability, 23% because of emotional intelligence, 32% because of motivation and attitude, and only 11% fail due to lack of technical skills. But in a perfect world, we're going to want candidates and employees whose character is equally as strong as their skill, right? But in this job market, it's hard to find. So how do you interview for grit? Like, how do we know? You know, we have a resume. You know, you can only ask certain questions in an interview, right? So how do you find gritty people? Well, you look for a time when they wanted something really bad and they were absolutely unstoppable in achieving it. A time that they overcame an obstacle. But make sure you pay close attention to the duration because you want to make sure that they can stick it out. 3 questions you can ask candidates to find out if they're gritty. How did you turn a dream into a reality? Tell me about a time you experienced adversity and you bounced back. Tell me about a project that took an extended period of time and how did you stay engaged? See, the key to hiring in the next decade for the technology industry and what we're facing, as you heard today and you're going to hear later, is hire grit, train skill. So let's talk about training skill. Top tech companies such as Pinterest, Airbnb, and LinkedIn even, they are hiring people with non-tech backgrounds and then they're paying them to learn with apprenticeship programs, which are really hot right now. Madeline Tavares had no computer science degree. She actually had an economics degree, and she interned in financial positions throughout college. Well, now she's working at Pinterest as an Android engineer. Roy Edwards dropped out of college. He got an entry-level job at a tech company. 8 years later, he still doesn't have a college degree, but he's learned enough about programming robots to supervise people who do. AT&T is going to invest $1 billion in retraining 100,000 workers through classes and programs. This is happening, and it's a very, very hot strategy right now, and it will be in the future. Let's talk about transferable skills. Okay, transferable skills is the buzzword right now in the staffing industry. So hiring managers, when they can't find that perfect candidate, they look at other skills that a candidate may have that will allow them to ramp up quickly and be trained quickly. High schools are now having signing days, not for college and not for sports, but for jobs. CVS, IBM, Chase, they're all hiring because of what people can learn, not what they know now, not what college degree that they have, if one at all. To thrive in this job market, we have to become 100 times better at training people faster. You know, many of you in this room, you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you were once unskilled, right? And somebody gave you a shot. You have grit. You've overcome adversity, personal issues, professional failures, maybe health challenges, but you didn't let it stop you. You used those experiences to make you stronger and better. I know because I'm one of those people. I grew up in a small town in Tennessee in this exact trailer. My mom was a seamstress in a factory. Single mom, actually, that's her right there. And over a 10-year period, you know, actually I worked very, very hard to save for college for many, many years. I started working when I was 14. And then I started college and my dad died tragically, so I dropped out of college and I joined the Marine Corps. And over the next few years, I lost every member of my family, my mother, father, of course, both my sisters, all my grandparents, and my stepfather. And then my son was diagnosed with cancer at 11 years old. And that's a battle, actually, that we won, thank God. But these experiences did not break me. They were actually a gift to me. They gave me grit. They gave me a passion for people and for life and a purpose. They gave me the ability to be successful in any situation. Because, hey, if I could survive all this, making cold calls all day was nothing. Let me ask you something. If you received my resume 2 years ago, would you throw it in the trash? No college degree, 0 telecom experience, 0 staffing experience, and not 1 industry relationship. And yet, I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar telecom staffing firm, a little over 2 years, and a personal network of hundreds in this industry. How many people are you passing up because they don't have the right words on paper? We need more gritty people in this industry to do what we need to do. We've got a lot to do, and it's very exciting. But we've got to have gritty people to do it. People who excel in a fast-paced, changing environment. People who are not afraid to dream big. Let me tell you about one man's impossible dream. 45 years ago, Martin Cooper made the first mobile phone call with a device that weighed 4.4 pounds. Can you imagine that? Each one of you sitting here right now with a 4-pound telephone. Today, over 5 billion people have a mobile phone connection. That's over 2/3 of the world's population. You know, it always seems impossible till it's done, doesn't it? So, be gritty. Dream big. And if anybody ever tells you that your dreams are silly, remember, there's some millionaire walking around out there who invented the pool noodle. Thank you so much.
Carrie, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Carrie is going to be here for a good chunk of the day as well. Come and track this lady down because she's quite remarkable, and I know she would love to continue the conversation with all